Hi there. Welcome to How to Use Dubsado as a Marketing Strategist. I'm so glad that you're here and I get to talk to you about one of my favorite products that I use for my business, Dubsado. So let's jump right in. Just so you know, this will be half of me like talking about Dubsado with half of me actually showing you what my Dubsado looks like based on the things that we're talking about here today. But before we jump in, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Brittany Odo. I'm a content writer, strategist, and CEO of According to Brittany, which is an award-winning content and social media agency. So we work with mainly small businesses to help them manage their social media accounts and create the content for them with a focus on creating consistent lead generating content. I am born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I am certified cat mom to my cat, Luna, who is normally in my face when I'm doing these, but she is with my husband, thankfully. And lastly, I am a Sims addict. If anyone out there is a Sims player, Sul to you. If you're not, you have no idea what I'm talking about and just classify me as a huge nerd. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. And now I'm going to talk about what our agenda is for this program. So we are going to be talking about why a marketing strategist needs a CRM and why I chose Dubsado. We're also going to talk about how Dubsado forms bring in income to my business. And we're going to talk about the Dubsado workflows that I use to automate the client process from lead to paying clients. So let's get right into it. First thing, why does a marketing strategist need a CRM and why? I chose Dubsado. So, marketing strategists and CRMs. So, three things why you need a CRM. The first one is to help you manage multiple clients. As you grow, no matter where you are in your business, clients are going to be a huge part of your business. That's how your business keeps running, is by having paying clients. So you need to be able to manage them because there's a lot of different parts to having clients, from payment to projects to just keeping track of where people are in different parts of your funnel, all that stuff that's really important, and you're going to need to be able to manage that. And if you have if you're disorganized, it's going to be bad for you and bad for your client. And that takes us to my second reason, and that is to elevate your client experience. So when you're all unorganized and all over the place, your clients are going to notice that, and they are going to have a negative client experience, and that's going to keep them that's going to keep you from maintaining them as a client. Plenty of times, if you're all over the place, your clients are going to get frustrated and you want them to have a good experience. So having a CRM helps you manage your clients so you can have a good client experience, which is in turn good for you and good for your client retention. And lastly, you want to automate and streamline your business. That's the best part about having a CRM, and that's the best part about Dubsado. When you have a business that has a lot of moving parts between leads and projects and marketing and sales and just so many things that go into having a business, having it automated and streamlined is going to be such a good thing for you. And it's good to start no matter where you are. If you're just starting, if you are seasoned, to start setting these things up, because the goal of our business is so we aren't always working in our business, so we can walk away from our businesses and our businesses still run for us. So that's why I love having a CRM, especially like Dubsado, where I can automate things. And if I need to step away, like if I go on vacation or something happens and I can't get to things, I know that they'll still be going without me having to be there. So why did I choose Dubsado as a CRM? So I started with Dubsado. It was actually recommended to me by a friend, a fellow business owner. And I will be honest with you, when I first started, I was a little overwhelmed. I didn't have any clients at the time, and I was confused on what this was and why I needed it. But I'm so glad that I had decided to sign up, because Now that my business has grown and I have had several clients since then, this tool has been instrumental in helping me grow my business and helping me keep things organized and keep my clients having a good experience. So I chose Dubsado. One thing I love about Dubsado is their community. They have a really great Facebook community if you're not a part of it, where you can answer questions and hear from the actual creators of Dubsado. They have tons of help desk and articles and things that can help you learn how to use their system and things that you might not have even known. And they're very timely with how they will help you. I've fortunately only had to use the help desk one time. I had to chat with someone because I needed to understand some problem that I was having. And I got someone to chat with me immediately, and they were super friendly and helpful and resolved my issue immediately. So that is why I chose Dubsado. And I keep using Dubsado because the program itself is very good for businesses like mine. I hear really great things from my clients of what they think of it. They think that it makes me look more professional as a business owner when I can send really nice proposals and contracts, and I send my links and things like that look professional. And I know that my clients see that, and they see the professionalism in my business, and it just makes them trust me a little bit more. Because when you don't have those things in place, it can make you seem like you're not a legitimate business, or you're a business owner that's not taking it seriously. So with Dubsado, you don't have to worry about that. My clients know that they can take me serious and take my business seriously. So that's the great thing about Dubsado. So I'm going to show you two of the major things that have helped me in Dubsado with growing my business, and just helped me, and why I love Dubsado. And those two things are forms and workflows. So let's get started with forms. How Dubsado forms bring income into my business. So let's talk about forms that a marketing strategist needs. So there's a couple different forms that you will see when you go into the template section of Dubsado that show you that, just gives you some options on forms that you can create. And I'm going to talk about why you need those forms and how, as a marketing strategist, you'll need those forms. So first one you're going to need is your lead capture form. So this form is the one that's going to be like on your website, where people can fill it out and they become a lead for you. Lead capture forms, like I said, they capture important information, and they help you pre-qualify your client. And that's a huge part, the pre-qualify part, because, there are going to be people who are not a good fit for you. And I've noticed that having a form on my website that I'm able to kind of ask the right questions, I know ahead of time if someone is a good fit for my business before we even get on a call and talk. So that's always a good thing, and something that as an entrepreneur, you want to make sure that is this someone who is a good fit for your business? Are they someone that you can grow with, that you can work with? And it really just depends on what kind of questions you're asking. Great thing I love about the Dubsado forms that I just recently had changed in my forms is the reporting side of the lead capture forms. And I'm going to show you what my form looks like on my website. But I love that I can see I can put what services I have, and my clients can go ahead and choose what services that they want. And that lets me know what services are most popular for people who want to work with me. Another thing you can look up or you can add to your form is where someone found your business, which has been amazing for me. I love having that kind of data where I can choose what are the places where people might find me. And when someone fills out my form, they just pull out a drop-down menu and pick which one, and I'll know where they found me at. And that will just let me know, when I'm deciding when I'm making the decisions of what platforms I want to be on, where I want I'm going to base that on where am I getting clients, where am I getting leads from. So I really love that about the lead capture forms on Dubsado. Next thing is contracts. Marketing strategist, this is a must if you are doing any work with anyone. And Dubsado has some really great contracts. Really all you need to do is just tweak the contracts. And obviously, I'm not a lawyer, so don't take my advice as legal advice. But when I set up my Dubsado, I think the contracts that Dubsado has are very great. And I just tweak those contracts to my business. And I use those contracts. I have a contract for each one of my services, so each contract's a little different, and I'll talk more about that when we talk about workflows. But if you're a marketing strategist, always be sure that you're sending out contracts before any work is done, and make sure you just have the certain clauses that are really important, like late fees, like anything that, someone, just think of like if someone, what kind of things you want to prevent when you're working with someone, like someone not paying you on time, someone taking your work and not and leaving, someone taking your work and distributing it. So you want to make sure you have those clauses in place. Again, not a lawyer, so don't take my advice as legal advice. Next is your proposals. So I think proposals are really great because it's a really professional way to communicate your services to your clients. I have a proposal for each one of my services, and they can look at all, everything that they need to know when it comes to my services, and they can choose, here's what I want, here's what I don't want. It links out to my portfolio, things like that. And it's just first of all, you can customize them to look really great, brand them to your business. So it looks good when you're sending out a really nice professional proposal to someone who's interested in your services, and you're able to say, okay, here's what I do, here's how I work with my clients. And like I said, it just takes your business to the next level. Okay, next one is questionnaires, and I hope I spelled that word right. I am a writer, but I am not great at spelling. So your questionnaires, the different kind of questionnaires that you're going to need as a marketing strategist, your strategy forums, your onboarding and offboarding forums, surveys, those are all forms that I have in my Dubsado. For my strategy forums, that's what I have my clients fill out ahead of time before we do any strategy work together. So I have an idea of where they're at now and what their goals are. Your onboarding and offboarding form. So obviously, like things that you need for your clients. Like as a social media manager, I have to ask all my clients for their passwords for their social media. So I use Dubsado for that, and it just automatically sends that to them. So I just automatically have everything that I need. Next is your offboarding form. So kind of the opposite of like, here's what I need from you now that we're done working together. Like I need you to remove me from your social media accounts. I need, if you have a testimonial for me, please send it my way, things like that. And then lastly, surveys. So, if you have, like, for example, I was changing one from one program to another, and I wanted my feedback from my clients on what they thought about the new program and do they like it? And that was a really easy way for me to get that feedback because I had all my clients' information in my Dubsado, and then I could just send them that survey and get their replies back. So those are the forms that a marketing strategist needs, and these are all forms that Dubsado offers. I'm going to show some of them to you with our demonstration. That's where we are now. So I'm going to show you my Dubsado. Is it still showing? Yes, I think so. Yes, this is my Dubsado. I think it's still sharing. This is my Dubsado, and here are what my forums look like. Here are those contracts. If you want to use a contract, you just click here and it will, or if you want to start a contract, you can start from scratch. You click there to go back to your forums. So I have a forum for all of my services. So I have a consulting one and I have a content marketing one. I also have I used to do the service. I don't have this contract. I don't do the service anymore, but this contract's just still there. And this contract is for if I hire a contractor. So if I hire someone, I send them this form. And then these are the two forms I send to clients. This one is the general form that comes with Dubsado. But mostly I send these two because they're customized to my business. It has like my branding on it. They have all the clauses that are important to me. And then you can also do sub-agreements, which as you can see here are legally binding amendments to the main contract of the job. Next, questionnaire. So we talked about that. So here you'll see, or here's where I do any of my like surveys. This is like a content delivery feedback form. That's a form that I sent when I was changing my delivery system. Instead of using Google Docs, I now use Airtable. So I have this here to ask my clients what they thought of it. Then I have my strategy form. So I have a strategy form for each one of my services: content writing, copywriting, social media strategy. And so I send this to my clients to get an idea of what kind of, what their strategy is or what they want it to be. So you'll see here, ask things like about your account. I think that this was a template actually that Dubsado had, and I just kind of added and removed things how I saw fit. Objectives. So, what are your objectives for your account, your audience, your branding, inspiration, and additional comments. So I literally think that this form was actually provided by Dubsado already in their templates, and I just tweaked things how I needed them for my business. And you'll notice, like I said, that each one of my forms are different depending on the service, and that's going to be important when I talk about workflows. And then I have my onboarding form. So this is my form where I ask for, I have a content calendar tutorial because I use a program called Airtable, and I want to make sure all my clients know how to use it. And then this is just about like setups and passwords and things like that. How often are you going to use it? All that good stuff. And you'll see here, I even have like a section here that's just for admin, so I know like which scheduler they're using and things like that if I set them up with a scheduler. And yeah, so it's like really simple, and it goes out to my clients when they are starting. So let's go back. And yeah, I think again that form was one that Dubsado maybe had some sort of version, and I just went ahead, and that's the great thing about templates is that you can just, you don't have to recreate the wheel every time. You can take what's there and just make it your own. For my offboarding form, I just have some instructions for my clients on like, here's the steps you need to take to make sure like none of your content is lost. Make sure that you've removed me from your social media accounts. And then I also asked them for feedback. So I asked them to give me any feedback that's helpful. You always need feedback from your clients. And then I have a link here that says they can leave a review on my Facebook page. So that's questionnaires. Then we have proposals. So the proposals are where you would have all of your different services again. So you'll see I have like content writing, social media proposal, and basically I just have my packages listed out, my pricing, what they get with the packages. And the great thing about them is that they're all already formulated, so I just have to send them out. And Dubsado also has templates for that as well. I have this really great strategy audit form that I love. I use this as a template for when I'm doing free strategy audits. And so I have here, I give them 3 suggestions. So I do this for free. You just, I don't always do it, just every once in a while, but I really love this idea that I use the proposal for this because I actually got clients from doing this. So basically I have like, I have the suggestions here, and then after they get the suggestions, so I'll send this out, I'll write the suggestions in. Then at the bottom it says, here are my consulting packages if you're interested in working together further. And it works just like a proposal where they just fill out yes, what packages they want to work on, and then it just gets them started into my workflows. So love that. It was a really great idea. I sent out a few of these, and I had a few people sign up and work with me after doing that. So if you are a marketing strategist and you're looking for ways to engage people, that's a really good way. Hey, I'm doing a free strategy audit. Already have your template. Just fill out the suggestions. Make sure at the bottom you have your proposal, and then just send it out. All right, and then your lead capture form. So this is mine here, my website form. Like I said, here's the questions I answer, like your standard questions. Here's that drop-down menu I was telling you about what services are you interested in, and it has these services, and you can set them up to go to different workflows that you have. So whichever one they click, whichever one they select is the workflow that they'll get sent. Love that. It has saved me so much time because I don't have to do any of the work. They do the work themselves when they select that. You know, what's your platform? What's your email? How did you hear about us? Another good one where I can pick where did they hear me from, and then Dubsado will track what people select. So yeah, why are you interested in working with us? How you worked with someone before? All questions that I ask, super simple forms that's on my website, and they fill it out and they automatically, the way my workflows are set up, they automatically get sent to my calendar to call with me after they fill out this form. So yeah, so those are the forms that I have as a marketing strategist. If you go to the template library, there are tons of different forms. There's even forms in here for marketing. I think there's like a social media planner. That's what I use for my strategy. I tweaked it a little bit. And that's what I use. Even like there's like virtual assistant, like some of these things you can use for, you can reuse for marketing strategists and social media managers. So they have a lot in here, lots of really good stuff. And it's really great. So I definitely recommend checking this out if you don't want to start from scratch. That's what I did. And it was great. It really helped me. Okay, so let's move on to workflows. So I'm going to go ahead and get that up, and I'm going to go back to my presentation. So the Dubsado workflows that automate the client process from lead to paying clients. So let's talk about workflows. Oh, I hate that I always see, I'm a horrible speller. Okay, so I will let you know, first of all, the amazing Alea Larkins of Gridiverse. She is the one who really showed me how to properly set up my workflows. She's very active in the Dubsado community, so if you ever see her, definitely hit her up. She's amazing. I love her. She helped me take my workflows to the next level, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the things that I adjusted in my workflows to make them what they are today. So very first thing you know about your workflows, you need to have a workflow for each service that you have. And this seems a little daunting, but once I set it up and had my workflow set up, I can just copy and paste the different workflows and just change what services they're for. So keep that in mind. So I have a separate workflow for each of my services. And as you saw, all the contracts and forms are also for specific services as well. So each service has their own contract, their own form, own proposal, things like that, which you already saw. And really what you can do is you can create one form and just copy it and, tweak it for the other service. You don't have to start from scratch every time. Next, the stage. So you're going to have a separate workflow for each stage in your sales process. So for me, that's leads, prospect, and client. I also have a qualified leads stage, and so you're gonna have a different workflow for each one, and then you're gonna automate your stages. You're gonna set deadlines for things, and you're gonna always have a backup plan. And I'll talk more about that, what that looks like with my workflows, and this is really the best part of Dubsado, being able to set this kind of stuff up. It's helped me so much, and I love seeing my workflows just go off on their own. I don't have to worry about it, and the client onboarding process is so smooth for me. I literally used to do all of these steps myself, and now I don't do any of them. I just set it up that one time in Dubsado, which was a lot of work, but once I got it set up, now I don't do any work. So love it. Okay, so let's move on to the demonstration. So here are my workflows. Like I said, I have one for every service, and it can seem a little daunting, but trust me, it's not. So we'll just do social media because they're all the same pretty much. They just have different different forms and things like that. So when you sign up for my website, you'll automatically be placed in my social media leads workflow. And so it looks like this. And if we click edit here, we can actually see what that looks like. First action you'll have is you'll get a link to my calendar to book a call once you've done that. So there's just an email here that says like, thanks for interest in working with me. Here is the link to my calendar to book a call, all that good stuff. Super easy to set up. Dubsado has these great like short links so you can easily add in someone's information, which you can do down here with these smart fields. And yeah, it's great. I have this next email because one thing with the workflows here is that you can't do an action if someone like didn't take an action. So what I have done here for if it's like I wanted to do if someone didn't book a call, it would do this instead. But since I couldn't do that, what I did instead is I send them a follow-up email, and this email says like things to prepare for our call, and it basically gives them some different tips like check out my portfolio, create a budget, don't forget the appointment, and it says like, did you not book a call yet? No worries, here's our calendar. So just in case they didn't book a call, so it goes to them whether or not they booked a call a day after they filled out the form and got the link to my calendar. Then after that, it moves them to prospect. So then they move out of the leads after they've scheduled a call and moves on to prospect. So they go to the social media prospect one. So if we go back to workflows, then you'll click here. And so this is the prospect one. You'll see here that the first step, once they get here, is that and this happens after the appointment ends. So if they never schedule an appointment, they won't get to this step, but if they did, then they'll automatically go to this step. And so first thing is that they'll get a proposal. So this here has to be approved by me first, because sometimes you get on a call with someone and like they say they want social media management, but then they want content writing. So I don't want them to send them a social media proposal if we talked about something different instead. So I will go in and make sure that it's the right proposal that I want to send. And if it is, then I'll approve it. Then they'll get it. The proposal does expire. And it does send them an email that says like, hey, your proposal is expiring. If they haven't filled out the proposal in 7 days, they automatically get put into my qualified leads follow-up workflow, which I'll show that one next, but it's basically for people who signed up but didn't actually book with me, and they just get follow-ups so they don't just get lost forever. So then after they've done the proposal, they get a contract, and they'll get a contract based on whatever service it is. They'll get a contract. This is a content marketing contract that social media clients get, and that's after they do the proposal. Then they change from, after they get the contract and sign it, they go from a client to they go from a prospect to a client. So then it goes to another workflow. So once they go to that workflow, and like I said, if they don't take the steps, then they just go to get followed up with, and they don't get nothing else happens from there. So let me go to workflow and go to social media clients. So this is where they are getting into the good stuff. I send my invoices out to them manually. I do that part manually, but everything else is automated. So once they do all the other steps, the next step is going to be scheduling a kickoff call. So this will send to them automatically after they sign the contract. or after they sign the contract and move to clients, then they'll automatically get a kickoff call so we can schedule our first call together. It'll also send them the strategy form. So this is a social media strategy form that you saw earlier. And then for social media clients, they'll get this onboarding form that just goes on my social media clients because I need their passwords and things like that. And then lastly, once they are finished here, they've done all these things, then they move to they go from a lead to a job, and then they go into social media management as a job instead of a client or a lead, because all of these are still technically leads until they do all these steps and become an actual client. So even though it's called client, it's just setting them up to be a client, and then they move over to be a job. So you have the different stages. You have the leads and you have your jobs. So everyone's a lead until they're a job. And that's when they are a paying client that is working with you. So that's how I have my setup. And like I said, I have a workflow for each one. And then I have a qualified leads follow-up. And for that one, it's just they get follow-up. So they get like an email saying like, hey, do you need anything? Then they get another calendar link. Then they get a proposal that shows, start workflow. Oh, I can't remember all this stuff. So they go into a workflow that is called content packages, and that's just shows them all the services that I offer, and then they just continue to get. But that's only if they schedule an appointment. So you'll see here it says start workflow immediately after an appointment. If they don't, then they'll just keep getting followed up with until they go into closed. So there's that. And then I think that's all of them. For the one where they see everything, I actually have it set up where they get, they have this here where it's like, that I have to approve the proposal. Actually, I thought I had that set up differently, but I guess I didn't. Oh, it's the strategy part. So this part is where I have all of these set up, and then I only will approve one. So depending on whatever service they do. For those people who you don't know until you get on the call with them and talk with them. And then my qualified leads, okay, we went through that. So that's the different, that's how I just follow up with them. I think it's important to have that because I noticed a lot of times I have this person who wanted to work with me, and either they didn't book an appointment or they rescheduled, or something just happened and we weren't able to reconnect. But I don't want them to just wander away. They're someone who's interested in me, so I wanted to make sure that everyone still gets followed up with for a while. So they'll say they get 30 days after, 60 days, 90 days. So they get followed up with every month or so. Just so they're not gone forever. Yeah. And then for my offboarding form, basically it just sends them that form. For my offboarding workflow, it sends them that form. It follows up if they haven't completed in 3 days. And then they move to also getting follow-ups just to see if they need anything afterwards. And then they just go into qualified leads. So those are all my workflows. Again, Alea Larkins from Goodverse is the one who showed me this and who just told me I had 6 workflows and I didn't have any of them set up to go automatically. They just were there and I wasn't using them properly. So I went ahead and redid mine once I worked with her. And now, like I said, everything is automated. The only thing I ever do is I send invoices. And if someone, like I said, there's one part of my workflow where this part where if they never schedule a call, I just move them to qualify leads manually. But other than that, if they do, then it just goes through. I don't have to do anything. And I love it. It's really great. And I definitely think if you're a marketing strategist or any business owner, you should definitely set these up. Because like I said, it's all automated and you don't have to do a thing. So that's my demonstration for workflows and how I have them set up. And yeah, that's all I have for you. I hope that this was helpful. I will say happy writing, happy Dubsadoing. If you're someone who uses Dubsado or wants to use and sign up for Dubsado, this is my affiliate link here. If you follow this link, you will get a nice little discount. I think it's like 20% off or something like that your first month or something along those lines. And it might be different depending on the time that you're seeing this. It might be better deal. So definitely look into that. If you need any other blogs, guides, resources, you can go to my website, accordingtobrittany.com. You can slide into my DMs on Instagram at accordingtobrittany. Or you can shoot me an email at contact@accordingtobrittany.com if you have any questions or need any social media content help. I am definitely there for you. If you have any questions about Dubsado, I'm definitely there for you because I am a geek about the stuff. Like when I set up all my workflows and everything, I was so excited. I love this kind of stuff. So if you need help with that, I'm definitely there for you. But I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you can set up some really great workflows and forms and just have your Dubsado set up to where it helps you and your business. Trust me, once you do that upfront work, it's going to do the work for you, and it just makes your life easier. So hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye.